Yo, what's up, man? What's up? Welcome to the Esoteric Hustler Academy. All my Aries Ascendants was good, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do a card pull, business card reading, you know what I'm saying? We look, we on it. We on this shit, you know what I'm saying? We on this shit. The time is now. So I figured out what I wanna do with this shit. So welcome. So what I'm gonna do is on new moons and full moons, we're gonna do the house readings that I was starting with. But for you know what I'm saying, the weeks in between, we just gonna do a regular card, four card pull. You already know the deal. We looking at what you need to value, what you need to criticize, organize, or adjust. And also what you need to take action on, and then the conclusion card for all that shit. So we just gonna keep it simple, do some tarot pull, you know what I'm saying, business tarot pulls, and we gonna incorporate some astrology because basically it's gonna be for the whole week. So let's get into it. Aries ascendant. So right now the moon is in Capricorn, so that means that 9 times out of 10, if you're Aries ascendant, your moon is going to be in the 10th house. Now it could be in the ninth house. It could be a little bit in the what you call it. No, yeah. And I'm not talking about your moon. Let me clarify. I'm not talking about your moon. I'm talking about the transit moon, where the moon is at right now. So moon should be going through your 10th house, or it could be kind of touching your ninth, or kind of touching your what's before was at 11th. Yeah, can't count and shit like that. Hey, look. So spiritual. I forgot what after 9. Ain't nothing after 9. So I was like, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying. So just talking a little bit about the astrology and where y'all at right now. Y'all, you know what I'm saying, is going through a learning process right now. So you know what I'm saying, things aren't the easiest right now. You know what I'm saying. We all kind of going through a lot of shit right now with these transits and these times that we in. So you know everything is just kind of a matter of us. You know what I'm saying, figuring out how to structure a lot of the Sagittarius energy. The sun should be going through your if you're Aries ascendant, that means what? Yeah, your ninth house, you know what I'm saying? So for the most part, um, you know, your ninth house, it could be kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like I said, a little bit in the 10th or a little bit in the 8th. But for the most part, you know, with the sun traveling through here, you know, your whole focus is on spirituality, you know what I'm saying, faith, creativity. And for the most part, you're kind of going through experiences right now, experiences that's teaching you a lot of different things. So, you know what I'm saying, as of always, don't be afraid to expand. You feel me? First of all, we got the two of air, you know what I'm saying, two of air. I feel like this is my kind of my first time getting this card and shit like that. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? But air is dealing with communication. So this is what you need to value. You need to value your ability to relate and communicate some of these ideas that you have. And see, we have the kind of whirlwind as far as the picture goes. And for the most part, you know, this is you know, adding to communication, but being allowing, it's almost like communication in a very light sense, you know what I'm saying, lightening up communication or lightening up your thought patterns. You might even be, it's like you might be on a negative end. Usually like the first card, I don't look at it as negative, and like there is no negative and possible, but I said negative and possible, negative and positive, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. But like if I'm looking at this card and just like what I'm picking up is like y'all might really not know where to go with your ideas. Y'all might actually be having a lot of conversations right now that's kind of throwing you through a loop, or y'all might be moving in a way, and it's natural because right now we going through such a time where it's about building something new out of what you have and what you started with. So for the most part, you know, it's understandable that this would be the energy you're in as far, but you should value kind of what you're thinking through. Like, you know what I'm saying, it's almost like these this whirlwind of thoughts and ideas that you're kind of going through and swimming through. It's like allow that shit to be and appreciate it for what it is, because what's happening is through that you're actually learning. I think a lot of it also has to do with just like, you know, for instance, Mercury going through your ninth house as well, or a little bit of that eighth house space, or a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying, depending on where you have it. I mean, it's kind of later degree, so it's probably in your ninth house space, right? For the most part, it's like what's happening is you're going through a lot of experiences and having to really think. Like for you, Mercury doesn't like to be in Sagittarius, but it double doesn't like to be in the ninth house. So it's forced to go through these experiences and not really know what to think of anything. And So it's a situation where you kind of have to be there, and you have to kind of relate to your, relate to these things, like relate to these thought patterns that you have, and make sure that you're relating to the ones that's benefiting you. The ones that's not benefiting you, these are the ones you need, that's going to keep you kind of in that loop, you know what I'm saying? So um, that's what you need to value. Just value the experience for what it is. Allow yourself to expand, and the thoughts that's coming with it. Kind of look at these thoughts and see whether or not you want to relate to them. So y'all kind of like in an air-like energy. So it's like it must be a lot of communication going on, because this right here. So with the four of air, right? This is all about organizing. So you know what I'm saying. It's the we coming off the second card is always the sixth house principle. So this is what you need to criticize or pay attention to, and look at um, with more detail, attention to detail. And that's the four of air. That's like thought energy, a lot of thought energy. So the thoughts that you coming up with in the boxes that you put yourself in, because the four comes from the square be, or I don't say comes from, but it's the same principle as a square, where the square is the idea, problem, solution, and conclusion, right? But that creates a box in which you can either plan ahead, right? This is why four is like the third dimension, but on that next level, being able to look at the circumstance, right? And from that circumstance that you're looking at, you create a frame that leads to a conclusion. And from that frame of mind, that frame that led to the conclusion, in a sense, you can predict what's going to happen next. Um, of course, you can't predict what's going to happen next, but it's a matter of being able to size up a situation, a circumstance, and then basically put it in another space to as a frame of reference, basically. So you have to criticize that right now. Criticize your thought, the way you construct your thoughts. So right now, it's like you value your thoughts, in your ability to kind of go through these different thoughts and relate, and kind of see the duality of these different thoughts, and see if you relate to it or not on a large scale, and whether you want to pursue more things within that light. Then there's this right here, but it's saying to criticize this. So you're going through a period where you're having to really think through what you're doing. Think through what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's extremely difficult for Aries like energy, just simply because it's like, damn, like Aries is the spark. It's not dealing with thinking, it's dealing with feeling and instant, you know what I'm saying? So as you're on your ascendant, it's not as drastic as, say, if it was on your sun, but these are the type of this might be your first instinct, or this is like your part of your personality. So on a personal level, you might be like this with your personal issues and shit like that. And with the moon transiting through your 10th, but for the most part, it's like you're dealing with having to learn how to initiate some kind of practicality, and it's starting kind of with your thoughts. It's like this whole week is going to be about you kind of rethinking things, and really thinking these new things through, and figuring out how you want to maneuver moving forward as you continue on through your experience. You know what I'm saying? We coming off the new moon, so whatever idea or intention or dream that you're working on, it's your job to start putting it to action and figuring out how you want to structure it, right? But it starts with the mind first. You gotta build the right mind for it. So let's go ahead and get that next card. And so for the most part, it's starting off in your 10th house, but essentially it's going to go from your 11th house. And I believe by the end of the week, um, it should be in your first house. So this is kind of working with that corner of the zodiac, you know what I'm saying, where it's like the winter time. So, a lot of this is dealing with those wintertime energies of putting depth to things and coming up with kind of in a sense a fresh start, you know what I'm saying? Because by the end of this week, you want to be in a position where in your personal life, and when it comes to the personal things going on with you and your personality, and just kind of like your um, initial intent, because the first house is also dealing with initial intent. You want to make sure you in a refreshed space where it's like, yeah, I'm doing exactly what I want to do, and I'm able to bring some new energy to the pot, you know what I'm saying? And I have the right thought and idea to work on it. So what you need to take action on, look, is that nine of fire. So for the most part, nine of fire, this that Sagittarius energy. Take action on that shit, going through these experiences. So go through the experiences so that you can know how to structure your thought, and allow yourself, like I said, to experience the duality between the different things that you're thinking about. But it's like, as you're going through the experience, you're going to come upon new knowledge and new wisdom, right? Enlightenment to figure out basically how to think about the circumstance better. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. It's like you have to go through the situation in order to know how to think about it better. You know, and sometimes like it's like we can create thought structures and thought forms that can help us through experiences before we go through them. But a lot of times, if we come with too much shit on our mind, too much for energy, we fuck up the experience, and we're not able to actually uh, receive all the wisdom and knowledge and meaning and reasonings that we need to when we're going through it. You know what I'm saying? We just want to basically cherry pick and not go through the experience. We want to kind of hide from the experience itself, and it's like you can't hide from this shit. You got to go through it, and then that's going to help you come to better thoughts about what it is that you're trying to structure and a better way to relate to it as well. But value what you're going through, and you kind of having to go through the duality and sizing up different thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that shit. And then when it comes to what you need to be doing, you need to just be going through the experience itself. And then from, you know what I'm saying, as you're going through the experience and you're relating to different thoughts, and you're weighing different thoughts, and you're seeing the duality of them, this is going to help you create a better idea for how to structure this shit. And then going into this next week, you're going to have more things that you're going to be able to take action upon, based upon what you're personally interested in. You're going to be clear when it comes to your personal life and your personal goals. So when it comes to your business, it's like we starting off with the 10th house, broadcasting. So you should be kind of working on what you need to be broadcasting. And then when you go into the network, you know what I'm saying, figuring out what's going on within your network so that you can actually support what you plan to broadcast, right? And we're going through the waxing period, so you need to be putting these things to test. Any idea that you have, put it on the forefront and see if it works, because without seeing if it works, you're not going to actually have the experience to formulate the right thought structure for what it is that you're trying to relate to. You feel me? So let's come up with the conclusion and shit. You know what I'm saying? That was too fast. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Yo. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out my mixtape. That's a fuck up. That's on me. But I just dropped a mixtape on my main channel, Dave Beyond TV. You know what I'm saying? I hate saying main channel, but my my other channel, my personal channel, my personal business channel. Um, Two cars came out. Okay, cool. But yeah, I dropped a mixtape. Go ahead and check that shit out. That shit bumping. Um, so this is the conclusion, right? I got these. Now this adds more energy to whatever it's with, but more yang like energy. So the expression is really what's going on here. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is like an Aries like card. Even though it's a two, you know what I'm saying, two of fire, it's an Aries like card, and you can tell because kind of how, you know, it's like bursting with energy on instant. And so the white basically is adding more energy to it, or it's basically saying more so in the yang. So this is more something where you need to be expression. The conclusion is express your motherfucking self. Express yourself and express more your relatability or your ability. It's like not so much expressing relatability to be relatable, but more so expressing those things that you relate to, so that others that relate to that same thing can relate to you as well. So with your business, it's like these experiences that you're going through, there's going to be somebody else who's able to receive what it is that you're expressing. But you have to put it on the forefront, you know what I'm saying? And as you're going through these different experiences, it's like, and you're formulating a better way to think about them. It all started because you took the time to value your thoughts, and see, and start to weigh them and see what they are really worth. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us participate in thoughts that ain't worth a lot, and so it gets us, it causes us to short ourselves in the long run, short our value, and not really get the full spectrum of what we deserve, because we too busy, not valuing the right thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. So that's for the most part what's going to be going on for this week with your business. So you know what I'm saying, just hold it down, really pay attention to what you're thinking about, what you're relating to. Allow yourself to experience, which you really ain't got a problem with. It really ain't hard, but your other alignments might interact with this energy. But you know what I'm saying, allow yourself to experience. Don't think so hard about what you're about to do it. And while you're doing it, monitor your thoughts as you're going through it. And that's the thing about Mercury and Sagittarius, that it might be fucking you up a little bit. It's like you got to remember that You can't sit back and think about something in full. It's like Aries energy ain't got no. It's no problem diving into something, but it's like there is thought that's necessary as you're going through the experience. Though, allow yourself to experience and then take those thoughts and then structure them. Like, don't forget. It's like on two ends, right? Don't think too hard that you don't experience, right? But if you're more the Aries ascendant who's okay with going through an experience, right? Go through the experience, but don't forget to actually be monitored, like taking thoughts and meanings, or like taking meanings and reasonings and making structured thoughts out of those. You know what I'm saying? So that you can actually have a plan of action next time you're going through experiences. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So for the most part, much love, and I'll catch you on the next one.